I want your take on Eddie Nketiah because he's going all intents and purposes looks like he's going. He's part of this young group. I feel like Lacazette had a really good run in the team for a few months and then kind of went off the boil. Eddie's come in the last 3 matches and he's really helped sort of solidify and balance your team out and give you a real good focal point up front.
I don't think Eddie's necessarily going. I think there's a contract on the table. He wants to know, am I part of the future? Now, if we get into obviously Europe, which looks like we are but whether it's Europa or Champions League, he's going to get game time. Obviously, we've got the cups as well. He wants to kind of just know how important am I for Arsenal, and he's proved it. And I feel like when we get top 4 now, I feel he's going to feel he's part of the team. He's only 22. England's under 21 all-time goal scorer. He's only going to get better. I think we really need to keep him as well. I think we don't need 2 strikers. I think we need about 3 strikers, and he should definitely be one of them.
He could. I mean, listen, getting him to sign a new deal is very, very is easier than signing new players sometimes. What do you guys think? Would you want to keep Nketiah for another period of time? What would you say, guys? Think he's got to go?
Listen, if we get into the Champions League next season, like you said, we have to go to the next level. The next level of players. If we're going to be competing, I don't think Nketiah is the right guy. I think he does have a future in the Premier League. I think he is a Premier League caliber player. But where we want to go, I don't think he really is that guy. He'll be good at Brighton. Like if he goes to somewhere at Brighton, I think he could do absolutely well. That 15 goals.
I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like we're wasting our time talking about Eddie Nketiah. He's probably going to end up at a club like Crystal Palace or something like that. This is not even an insult to him. He's most likely looking past Arsenal, looking past the situation at the club, and he's probably looking at where he could go next. And I think a club like Crystal Palace or a club lower down the table where they could possibly guarantee him time and embed him into the squad, that makes more sense than him staying for his own career. And for Arsenal, if we're going to be in Champions League football next season, we need 2 quality strikers. I would love to see us go and get a Gabriel Jesus and somebody else of quality to bolster our attack and to move on the likes of Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette.
I mean, do you not? So I'm assuming by that you don't think he's of Arsenal quality, the quality and level that you need to get back to.
No, I'm looking at both scenarios, Terry. I'm looking at for Arsenal, we should move on because, of course, we haven't given him many chances, and he probably wants to move on. And for my sake, I personally would want to raise the level of quality in the squad, and I feel like Eddie Nketiah or going and getting a Gabriel Jesus and somebody like Ivan Toney raises the level of the squad higher than keeping Eddie. And I just feel like they have more potential to grow and become better players than keeping Eddie Nketiah.
Do you agree with that, Curran? Is it about raising the standards of player and quality? I can't hear you, bro. Are you? Yeah, he's not on mute. I can't hear him.
Yeah.
There we go. You're back now. You're back
Hello?
now. You're back
Can you
now.
hear me? Yeah. Basically, what I was trying to say was, look, Eddie is 22 years old, right? And this next move for him has to be one where his development is prioritized, and by that he needs game time. Can we assure him that he is good enough, not even good enough, that he is going to be getting the starting time? The way he's had the last period of this time of his contract, he hasn't been playing until this past 3 games. And I can't really see him going, okay, calm, I played for the last end. Like the same thing happened with Pepe last season. He played 5 games very well, and then he just went back to being on the bench. And I like Pepe, but my issue is that we need to bring in a new crop. We have players that are not only coming in from outside, we have players coming through the system as well. A Mika Birith, a Terrace John Jules, a Gerd Moller. There's a lot of talent coming through at the academy as well. So I just don't see him A, agreeing, and B, it being good for his stage development. I want the best for Eddie Nketiah. I think that it's not about his quality. I just don't feel like he is going to be the player that will lead us going forward in terms of a Champions League quality team.
I agree. It's good to hear Gunas say that, because sometimes I feel that we go through this motion as football fans where we always hope, and I know we've all done this. I'll go back to use a player as an example from years back, Danny Welbeck, when he played for Man United. I was always hopeful when he sometimes gone a little purple patch of form where he scored 3 or 4 goals in a couple of games, or whatever, a really good game against a big team. And I just thought, childish thought really, of maybe this will kick him onto the next level where he'll be consistent and good enough for a Man United team back then that was winning Premier Leagues. never works like that. Like if Eddie Nketiah was good enough, he would have already shown it by now over a period of time. He wouldn't have been riding the bench so long. He's had a good little spell now. The same though as Lacazette. When Lacazette had that good 3 months, it was like, oh my God, we don't need anybody else because look, he's been here, 4 or 5 years and hasn't done that consistently. That for me is what you need to know. Like he is not good enough and you need to look to raise those games. And he's played well the last few matches. But as you say, either Tony, there's obviously Darwin Núñez that could be possible, especially with Champions League football. These players are a cut above what you've got. And there has to be that lack of, what's the word I would use? Romance and not sympathy. What's the word I'm looking for? Something that's emotional that you, sorry?
Nostalgia.
No, not nostalgia, where you stick with something.
Pragmatic.
No, there's a word I'm looking for. When you're sentimental, you can't be too sentimental with your players and like hold on to them for too long. Daniel here says Eddie goes and does well. The same lot will come here again and condemn Arteta and the club for it. Done with this wannabe pundits. There is an element of truth in that. You always see this. A player leaves and then look at this. I'll give you an example. This is what I will say to Arsenal fans on this because mainly Arsenal fans watching. Joe Willock. That guy, when he got those 7 goals in 7 games, I sat on street, did I get everything right? And I said he won't score 7 league goals across the next 2 seasons combined. It was an absolute fluke. He had all this time and space. He'd been used to being up against low blocks, and suddenly, bang, time and space scored these goals. You managed to finesse £25 million for him. Eddie Nketiah will go to a team where he's got lots of time and space to run into, no one playing low block, and he'll score goals. That doesn't mean he would do it in an Arsenal shirt when teams all sit back and give you very little room. That's how I look at it. Simple as that for me.